Dudes, what's happening? Thanks for tuning in. Today we got a special redraw of Master Yobei from the hit indie webcomic Twilight Monk. A little while back, I took a little trip to Thailand and got some sweet inspiration for some new patterns and shapes and all kinds of cool stuff that I thought I'd work into some of my drawings. And so let's check it out. Let's do it. Let's jam. Master Yobei remix. So right here, you're going to kind of notice that I'm pulling off copies and I'm making like variations and things. This is kind of a common concept artist practice. I mean, most of the time you're not going to get your definitive, perfect 10 design right out of the gate. So I like to pull off some copies, just make slight variations until I come up with like a cooler idea. Then we take it to Corel Painter for that sweet pencil look. Surprisingly, only one person has pointed out the toilet bowl around his neck and the massive roll of toilet paper on his back as well. So one of the things that I do when I'm doing a lot of line art is I'll do this sort of silhouette, and it's kind of a blobby black shape, and then I'll create a new layer on top of that, and then I kind of draw in my line arts over the top of that, so you get this nice shaded effect. And that bottom layer, that silhouette, is really just maybe a 50% opacity. And then of course I go in and add another layer of shadows so that you get that nice pop. You get a little bit of a three-dimensionality to it. So I really just use a couple of shades of gray and my black and white to get a nice sense of form and form definition in my characters. If there's a certain look that I'm going for, I have no problem, no qualms about dropping in a little segment, a little piece, a little slice of something that's got the style that I'm looking for. In this case, you can see down in the bottom corner, I took a little piece. It was just like a little arm, a shoulder piece of a rendering that Akihiko Yoshida did, because I really wanted to get a nice pencil kind of a look. And he's got the look that I wanted to get, so I just kind of duped it. I duped it. One of the questions that people ask me about is like, when do you know when to stop on a piece? And I honestly can't really answer that. I think I could probably have just kept on going with this one for another 10 hours. It just felt right. It just felt right when it was time to start adding color. That was it. I knew I had a couple more hours on it, and that was about it. I could also say that I just started to kind of get lost in doing the details. I just zenned out. I put on some chill music and kind of just lost track of time. Now, the thing that you got to know about me about color is that I don't actually do much, man. I let the Photoshop do it for me. That's why I use gradient maps, as I've often talked about, and you can check out many of my other videos in which I explain the tedious procedure of setting up all of your gradient maps that'll do all the work for you. As a general rule, when I'm laying down colors, I don't just use flats because I've already got a gray value for everything. So I like to lay down a gradient map for my flesh tone. I've got about 3 different flesh tones that I like to use, and I have a number of other material colors that I cycle through to find whatever suits the piece the best. So here I am laying down all these gradient maps, and I end up with a good deal of purples and blues, and sure, I got my leather colors and things like that, but ultimately I just felt like it was a little bit too much blue, and I'm painting over the top of everything and ultimately kind of just bringing out my forms using those gradient maps as a base and then painting over the top of that to get my final look. It's just a quicker way to get to point B a lot faster. You get some really neat, like kind of slick surfaces and a little bit more weathered surfaces, but ultimately it was still just too much purple for a character who's been traveling as much as Master Yobei has. So I went into the image adjustments tab and replaced all the blue with a little bit more of a warm color, and it just suited the character a hell of a lot more. So happy accidents. Sometimes you just gotta roll with the mistakes. Everything works out. So that kind of wraps it up for the Master Yobei redesign. I want to thank you guys for stopping by. If you are an artist and you're more interested in the lengthier, more detailed process of this, I have a number of tutorials on my Gumroad channel, which you can check in the link below. And for everybody else, I want to thank you guys so much for stopping by. You guys are awesome. Questions and comments go in that section below the video, of course. And I will catch y'all manyandaban. Until next time, ciao.